And good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sean Maguire's Midday Show. Yep, my Midday Show. I am live on People's Internet Radio. That's www.peoplesinternetradio.com, where we are seeking solutions. And today I have a bit of respite from all the heavy stuff. Let's have a bit of music. Let's have a bit of creativity. We're going to be inviting on the Fairy and the Fiddler and Jam Shugar. So we'll start off with the fiddler himself, Daniel, with Monaghan Jig. That was the wonderful Dansky and Monaghan Jig. So I just want to say that was really, really cool and a nice respite from the elections and all the rest of it. And I'm hoping to have the Fairy and the Fiddler, maybe not the Fiddler because I hear he's not well, but we'll hear about that now. Hopefully we have Shaz and Aidan and, let me get the name right, Julianne. With
Hello, how are you,
Hello.
Sean?
Hey.
Hello, you guys. Are you doing well?
We're doing well, yes.
We are
Mighty.
here by the fire.
Sitting here by the fire doing the show.
Oh, isn't that lovely? I've the range rocking behind me and I'm looking out at the pouring rain, to be honest. But, it's a beautiful, beautiful place to be here when we're listening to nice music that gets us up off our arses and onto the dance floor. What do you reckon?
Indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed.
Nothing like it.
We're sorry we couldn't make it to the studio today, but our fiddler is poorly, so he's up in bed, so he is.
You tell us a bit about Daniel, will you? That was a track with him. Who was playing the guitar on that, do you know?
He did that himself.
So it was a double.
All the bits himself.
Gotcha. So that was Daniel himself. And he's poorly. What happened to him?
He's just a bit under the weather, just very tired. We've been moving house and doing lots of bits and pieces and everything kind of caught up and the weather and it's creeping in.
And whether or not he came on a radio show in the morning was a bit a step too far. No, I understand fully. Listen, I had you guys, Shaz and Daniel, on my show with Natty Whaler not so long ago, and you did a bit of live music and all the rest of it. So now we're expanding. Tell me about the expansion.
Well, we've a couple of things coming up this month. And then for the last few weeks, we've been working with Jam Shugar. So what the Fairy and the Fiddler have coming up this month is we're performing at the David Bowie Cabaret on the 4th of March in the Circus Factory in Cork.
Lovely.
We're going to be doing a lot of stuff down around the circus in Cork and a lot more Fairy and the Fiddler on the go this year, as we'll be back closer to the amazing circus down there.
Brilliant.
We'll also be doing the performance that we're doing there on the launch for the Paddy's Day story. There's a David Bowie special on that and the launch in Garbles.
Well, just explain. That's in Castlebar, and the Paddy Day story is a new single by Jam Shugar with you guys involved, yeah?
Yes, yeah, we've been collaborating lately. So we've been up to the Castlebar and playing with hoops and playing with music and doing lots of different bits and pieces.
Yeah, let me explain that to people. The Fairy and the Fiddler. I've been involved with a few little things in circus acts and all the stuff that you're doing. Me being just a performing poet and all the rest of it. But it's
MC.
An MC. I've done a bit of MCing, of course. But just to let people know who may not have heard of you, basically you're a hoopla specialist. Brilliant at it. I mean, it's an art form in itself, and your whole body and a circle, and there you are making all these lights, and you use fire sometimes, and all sorts of incredible things, whilst Daniel plays violin fiddling in the background.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Musical accompaniment to your fire and hoopla.
Yeah, so on Valentine's Saturday we were performing at a wedding in Kinnitty Castle. So I had some hoops and some fire fans and some fire orbs and torches, and then he was playing some lovely fiddle music and with nice fire display around.
Isn't that fantastic? So all you people getting married out there, what a great idea. And any other events as well, really. So listen, let's talk about Jam Shugar. Aidan, Julianne,
Yep.
are you there? Tell us all about Jam Shugar. How the hell do you jam is sugar, isn't it? Anyway, go on.
Well, we're at the two-piece acoustic anyway, what we've eventually decided we were going to be, like, because it took a while with, like, because I was in a band before I'd met Julianne, and we were kind of gigging around the place, and then Julianne joined us, and we tried being a 5-piece, and then we were a 3-piece, and so basically it's just me and Julianne now that
You scared everyone else off, is that it?
Yeah. Well, we've
Everyone
got.
has such commitments going on, like.
We ended up having like 2 drummers, 3 bass players, and 2, you know what I mean, always having spares and whatever. But me and Julianne were kind of the constants, like, you know. So
you were the foundation stones.
that's it. Yeah, we were at all the gigs, and everyone else, you know, might be just the 2 of us, or it could be 5 or 6 of us. But eventually then we found out what we were and took it from there. And last year then I got an award from the Mayo County Council to go record some original stuff, so started focusing a lot more on originals, because we had done a few shows here in Castlebar, the Jam Shugar sessions, where we organise nights with 4 or 5 acts playing, and a lot of that was original stuff, and we're getting good feedback in that. So
Well, that is fantastic, because I really bulk at allowing people to come on and do covers, because if you lived in show band land for too long, and it's dead easy, it's dead easy to put a band together and make a reasonable living, doing weddings and all the rest of it, 21st birthday parties and all the rest of it. But it's originality and creativity we want.
that's it. And like it's not easy getting original gigs as well when you start off and no one knows you. So that's one of the reasons we've done the Jam Shugar sessions as well, is
Absolutely,
give people a platform to come up and do it without, too much hassle or stress, and, just have fun really. And, that's what brought us into the studio anyway, to get recording.
Well, fantastic. And listen, I've listened to the Paddy's Day story, and can I give my opinion?
You can, of course, yeah.
How much tongue-in-cheek was it when you were writing it?
Oh yeah, I was just a bit of crack really, like, 'cause I liked him mention a lot as well. You
do. Look, I tell you what, it's like, it's a little bit like, now we've just had an election, and obviously a fluoridated masses have ended up putting the assholes back into their de facto provisional royal Oireachtas again, right?
Yeah.
So I'm quite, amazed at how brainwashed and drugged our poor nation is. And I actually think that there's going to be a lot of people who will listen to the Paddy Day story and think, no, isn't it a sweet little song? Would you like a dance? And I think, and those people,
without listening to the words.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah, but I was kind of hoping for that as well. Yeah.
But being a performing poet with a bit of an eye on the lyric, okay, I love it. Okay, it's very, very sarky. I mean, yes, I would have mentioned, that, the criminals from the Roman Empire did come over here and re-legion us into religion, and they, killed our Queen Eru on the hill of Ishnuk and genocidally raped and tore apart our country's people. But we won't get into all the heavy stuff. But you mentioned that it was pagan rituals originally, pagan festivals, and I do like the link you put into the two, and it's a bloody great tune.
Cheers, thanks.
So shall we play it?
Oh yeah, sure, why not?
We'll maybe play it twice in the hour because I think people need to hear it. It is your release. It's your release of a single, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Okay, and when's that taking place?
The launch night will be the 11th of March, with the David Bowie tribute as well, and Very and the Fiddler will be doing a bit of a show there as well, and we'll have a magician doing a bit of an act there as well, Magic Daniel.
Okay, that sounds magic.
So it'll be a fun-filled night anyway, and it's free entry as well. So
fantastic, and the venue is in Castlebar?
Castlebar, yeah, Garbo's music venue.
Garbo's in Castlebar, right. Yeah. Get your arse down to Garbo's and have a listen to this live, and a few other incredible acts as well on the night. Even Magic, for God's sake. Okay, let's put the Paddy's Day story on now, and then we'll have a wee chat after, okay? So if you just mute your mics, we'll go for it.
Yeah, lovely, cheers.
The people there were friendly, loved working on the land. At times it wasn't easy, but they all worked hand in hand. Society was happy 1600 years ago. Now I hear you asking me, where did this culture go? 'Twas a shepherd with a shamrock, all the people say, came over here and said he'd make the demons go away. But the people there were wary of the stories he would tell, about the Father, the Son and the Holy Ghost, the heaven and the hell. So on Paddy's Day when you're dancing away and you're singing the Irish Rover, remember he never got rid of the snakes, he only brought them over. Along with the talk that you believe Bob was a better than you believe, and spreading the word he mystically heard, and he tells the story with a little lead. Their holidays, they were all decided by the sun. This young shepherd boy, he always had his favorite one. In springtime when the darkness is equal to the light, and all the happy pagans setting fire to the night. Dark season's gone away and the sun is coming back, and Paddy thought, what better day for me to piggyback. So he kept on telling his stories to anyone who'd hear, and he kept on telling them night and day for years and years and years. So on Paddy's Day when you're dancing away and you're singing the Irish Rover, remember he never got rid of the snakes, he only brought them over. Along with the thought that you could be fought with a better than you believe, and spreading the word he mystically heard, and he tell the story with a little lead. They started to believe in all his stories and his tricks. They started building churches using all the castle's bricks. It was the beginning of the end for all of their old Celtic ways, the Christian adaptation of the pagan holidays. No more Ihaona or Balcona today. Now they're known as Halloween and Maybank holiday. Well, Paddy had a plan and well, Paddy found a way. So now today, well, we all say Happy Paddy's Day. So on Paddy's Day when you're dancing away and you're singing the Irish Rover, remember he never got rid of the snakes, he only brought them over. Along with the talk that
Oh yeah, so that is the Paddy's Day story. Welcome back to the Midday Show. This is Sean Maguire on People's Internet Radio, and I'm here after having played the Paddy's Day story by Jam Shugar. Are you back with us, guys?
We are, yeah, still here.
Yeah.
Well, that was pretty cool, wasn't it? You got paid to put that one out.
Yeah, from the council, yeah.
No, I love it. People know St. Patrick's Day, don't they? They know the 17th of March, but they don't even know their Independence Day here in Ireland.
No, people are very, like you said,
Asleep.
yeah. Easily misled.
Well, I call Royal Television England, RTE. They're obviously telling people the truth, and obviously our newspapers, the Irish Mail and the Irish Star and the Irish Sun, my arse are they Irish. So, Irish people supporting Manchester United and Newcastle. You wouldn't hear of a Dutch football fan supporting a German team. Or, it's very strange. We've actually been bastardized completely. I mean, you've got to look back in time and say, the Irish language was actually killed, shot out of us, if you like, and the only way to save our children was to teach them English and make sure they were next for the bullet.
That's it, yeah.
Jeez, I said I wouldn't be heavy. Go on.
We're not told most of that, or something.
Yeah, well, March the 17th itself is a very historical day for Ireland, for the Republic of Éire, and that is the formation date of the Irish Republican Brotherhood.
Oh, that's right, yeah. And originally the whole Patrick's Day thing with the pagan festival, it was like Ostara, I think it was originally called.
Yeah.
It was, it was what turned into Easter as well, but Ostara and Easter,
and Estra,
Paddy's Day, it was the equinox basically.
Yeah, so. Well, 17th of March is numerology, if you want to talk to these elite psychopaths that run the planet, they're into their astronomy, their sacred geometry, their numerology and all the rest of it. And they use symbols, as you do in religions and in advertising these days. And, we need to be aware of all this stuff. And I do really like the fact that those lyrics hit on a few things just to wake a few people up and maybe get them to do a bit of research. But at the same time, get out there on the dance floor and have a jig.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
People don't realise that before the Roman intervention of Brehon life here in Ireland, we just partied.
Yeah, that was it, and maybe that's why they didn't like us, because we were having too much fun.
Festival after festival after festival. So there wasn't a day in it that there wasn't a festival in it.
Yeah, that's it.
And hopefully we'll get back to that. So how are you guys doing? I mean, you're doing a few gigs. Is this going to be your first foray into doing your originals and sticking to it, or are you still going to do covers and all the rest of it?
I will still do, we have regular gigs that we do in places that's where they want, that's what they want, so we're going to stick doing that as well, but obviously
we'll add in a few, introduce slowly the original stuff.
Yeah, we're going to keep focusing on our original stuff as well, but with the gigs we've already booked.
Right, and let me take Julianne in there. So I just heard her voice there, but Aidan was
Hey, how are you?
How are you, Julian? How did you get involved with this this Aidan fella?
Well, actually, I moved back to Castlebar and I just give the singing a good lash and said to meet other musicians. I went to an open mic session and I met the guys, but I hadn't met him once before, and he was doing a gig and needed a girl. Actually, I went up and sang an original song. It was the first time I ever sang it in public to anyone, and all the guys started joining in, and it was like, it was class. There was the sax there and everything. It was brilliant, and we just all hit it off, and that's how they all still get involved with Jam Shugar sessions, and then started jamming with Aidan and Ian on the drums, and been doing a few bits as well. I was doing the Dirty Circus in Dolan's. Have you heard of that?
Yes, indeed I have.
Performed there just a cappella 2 weeks ago. Which was good crack, and that's why I sent you that one. I heard you're a poet as well.
I am a poet. In fact, believe it or not, I was Saturday night in the Thomas House in Dublin. That's opposite Vicar Street, with 3 amazing bands: the GAC, who are from Dundalk, brilliant punk band; Hooligan, who go back a long way. They had a big hit years ago with No Blacks, No Dogs, No Irish. And then I was on stage there with ex-SLF. So what a punk gig. I'm an old punk rocker, and to get up and do... hooligan Dave Linehan broke a string halfway through his set and just shouted for me to come up and do some more poetry. So that was great halfway through their set.
Brilliant. That's great.
So these magical things happen, don't they?
They do. Actually, I want to say a big shout out to my sister who was running in the elections in Limerick City.
Okay. and what party was she running in?
She was with the Social Democrats.
Oh, bless them. I spoke to the Social Democrats people. They still think fluoridation of the nation is a good idea.
What do you mean?
They think that drugging our country is a good idea. The toxic waste coming in from Spain and China, their aluminium and Holland, aluminium and fertilizer, toxic waste that they would spend a fortune to get rid of, they actually pour it into our water and tell us that it's fluoride and it's good for our teeth.
I have such issues with that, but I actually haven't talked to my sister about that.
Oh, Social Democrats think it's a great idea.
With the fluoride?
Yep.
Okay, well, I'll have to have a talk with her about that.
Hey, listen, we move on, don't we? We move on, because these are criminals in the Dáil, and if anyone had got in that wasn't a criminal, I would have been surprised. And also, we can't do what we have planned in the future if they're not criminals in there.
What do you mean, though? Well, they're not in there, the Social Democrats.
That's right. So they're not in there, so we can just chat to them.
Yeah.
Whereas
Who
the
are
one
you talking to?
if I'm confusing you, I apologise. Okay, there's 166 TDs in the Dáil. That's how many are in there. Right. Now, obviously the Social Democrats wanted a few seats in there.
Yeah.
And all the other parties and independents and DDI, and they all wanted them too. And that was the battle they were fighting. But it was all rigged anyway, and it's going to be Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, and any other lackey that goes along with the EU Agenda 21, yeah? So they're going to get in anyway. It wasn't an election, it was a selection. So they've been selected. And the Irish people just got to wake up to all that, get together, and arrest the feckers.
Yeah, definitely.
Like in Iceland, bankers.
Well, I had Horder Torferson, Aidan, you mentioned Iceland. Horder Torferson was on my show 3 or 4 years ago, and then they went back. I'm not saying the show did it, but we had great chats and kept going, and they went over to Iceland. They've got 320,000 people. We've got 5 or 6 million. So they were able to talk to everyone, knock on doors, talk to everyone, hold demonstrations outside the government buildings, and in the end they arrested most of the politicians and either arrested or at least sacked the rest of them, and the bankers as well. So wonderful stuff going on. You're on People's Internet Radio, and we're revolutionary.
Power to the people.
Well, power to us and all of us, every single one of us that cares. You know, we have to leave a place for our children, don't we? So that they can dance and sing and enjoy all our creativity.
That's it.
Do you know? Anyway, sorry to get all heavy on you, but yeah, Social Democrats. A big hello to your sister, and there's me slagging off the Social Democrats. But hey, Social Democrats, Labour, and a few others actually they're just copy jump ship from England, really. They're British Crown entities. There you go.
But the Social Democrats have just started in September.
Yeah, that's right. Look at their model. They love fluoride. They think the British Crown's great, and we should pay all our taxes to the Consolidated Fund. Check them out. Anyway.
I don't know.
No, I know, but she's your sister, so love her, give her a hug, and tell her she's wrong. Sorry, I'm rude.
This is so awkward.
It's not awkward. It's not awkward at all. Tell you what, how awkward it's going to be. Let's put a beautiful poem on. Let's put Junkie Love on. But tell me a little bit about it, Julianne, before I play it.
It was just a poem I wrote, and I sang it one day.
Okay.
I have my iPad, so that's how I write a lot of my stuff. And it's just a kind of, poem I say.
Okay, I'm sorry if I upset you for, you know, if a politician wants to be a politician, you know, do the stuff that we want them to do. That's what I say, not a party whip. And no person who gets in from any party is anything but a party whip, and they got to do what they're told by the people at the top. Anyway, Junkie Love. Sure, hey, we're all junkies to something, aren't we? I love dark chocolate. I won't say the other two because they'll get me into trouble. Junkie Love, and it's by Julianne. And how long ago did you perform this?
This was actually, it's a live recording. A friend of mine, we were doing just a bit of film in a warehouse in Westport. So, it's just a real Raw live recordings.
Well, let's go.
It's on YouTube, Julianne and me.
Brilliant. We'll go for it. Here it is, Junkie Love.
The fear I felt when you were by my side felt so wrong, but it felt so right. For some reason, guilty lingered. My composure was so disfigured. There was flashes of me inside. And on that night we got it right. Then we called it treason. You can't deny you had your reasons, and so did I. His sunken face and beautiful eyes pierced right through this soul of mine, the sexiest man I'd ever seen. Others thought this was obscene, a mere junkie, they did protest. No, I said, he is the best, my long-lived creature of the night. You saved me from falsehood's bride, when things went wrong, you were to blame. Everyone thought I was insane. Maybe provoked by my love for you. I loved you so, and I thought you knew. Misconceptions in the night, although we held each other tight.
Well, there you are. That is Junkie Love. And, wow. It's, what can I say? You must have fancied that geezer.
Oh, that was actually a different recording I meant to send it in. But anyway, there you go.
Well, it's here. I got it, and I'm playing it.
At the time.
Right. Well, are you still with him? You see, did Shaz not tell you that I'm a little outspoken?
Yeah, the song was sang.
Right.
With passion with someone.
Yes, of course it was. Jesus, he must have been sexy bugger anyway. But anyway, look, I listened also to Born to Rock and Roll. Aidan, tell us a bit about that.
Well, I wrote that last year sometime. It was a classic rocker at heart, really. I don't know if you could tell that from the Paddy's Day song. But yeah, it was all classic rock when I was doing covers. So, yeah, it's just a bit of a song I started writing and sounded good and kept going with it.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know where you recorded it, but get yourself into a recording studio and a band behind you, and this is a number one if you put it.
Oh yeah, it's just a demo version, like obviously.
Gotcha. Well, hopefully there'll be people listening and share the podcast and all the rest of it, and you know you can always cut out that political Egypt in the middle, and just play them the music or whatever. But you have the tracks, just get it out there. Do you know? Yeah. Get it out there. This is, I'm going to play it straight away. This is Born to Rock and Roll. And then afterwards, if you guys want to put your heads together while it's on, I'm going to have a wee break, as I say, because I've listened to this a few times over the night. Tell us really what you want to put across, email addresses that you want to put out there on the chat room, etc. And also any future gigs other than the one in Garbo's coming up. So let us know all your plans, because obviously that Cork thing, you're moving to Cork, Shaz. I don't know if you're going to be moving down there to do gigs as well, Aidan and Julianne. So, you know, let us know what's going on, okay? This, because we're all born to rock and roll, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, he
was off his head. He was his own enabler. He rarely slept in bed, more likely on the table or in the garden shed, but never in the cradle. And when the people said he was mentally unstable, well, he just shook his head, said anyone is able to be easily misled. Madness is a fable, and he'd rather be dead than be given such a label. So don't judge a book instead, ask who the fuck is stable, yeah. He's the kind of guy, you know he's gonna die with a pick in his pocket and a chick in his eye. He was born to rock and roll, but we all know that he sold his soul to be known as the only one who could ever be so poor. He liked a little wine, it's a little bit ironic. Never when he dine, only as a tonic, but he's never feeling fine, just a bit moronic. When it's time to shine, his behavior is iconic, and then he would opine, I'm not an alcoholic, but he never would decline a bit of whiskey and a frolic, always looking for a sign of something that's symbolic. If he said he couldn't rhyme, well, he couldn't give a bollock, no. He's the kind of guy, you know he's gonna die with a pick in his pocket and a chick in his eye. He was born to rock and roll, but we all know that he sold his soul to be known as the only one who could ever be so poor. He liked to get political. At times he would create an argument on the statistical methods that he hates. He finds it also pitiful how power can dictate our minds until it's critical, and he gets irritated by some people's hypocritical egos that inflate. He says it's inhospitable, he don't believe in fate. Says all these analytical opinions wouldn't say that it's all a load of shit, but you know he's the kind of guy. No, he's gonna die with a pick in his pocket and a chick in his eye. He was born to rock and roll. We all know that he sold his soul to be known as the only one who ever could be so bold. He's the kind of guy, you know he's gonna die with a pick in his pocket and a chick in his eye. He was born to rock and roll. We all know that he sold his soul to be known as the only one who could ever be so bold.
Oh, born to rock and roll. Aidan Bulger, you should behave yourself, really.
Yeah, it's just a bit of crack, isn't it?
Ah, it's brilliant. Anybody could put, symbolic and couldn't give a bollock because he was an alcoholic altogether in one sort of chorus or phrase or verse is okay by me.
Thanks, cheers.
And that's the type of music I might play. So if you give me permission, I'll play it again a few times on the other shows.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, I'll definitely get a proper recording of it done as well in the future. So
Definitely. No, it's tongue in cheek again. A lot of sarcasm. I love it. So
yeah.
those feckin' political animals, they're just outrageous. Leave them be and get on with the rock and roll. That's what we should be doing. But we've a job to do until then, or else we will be in the shite. Anyway, it was absolutely fantastic to have Shaz and Daniel on the show previously with Natty Whaler and that, and to be able to play the sort of music that they were playing, it warms the heart, and it gladdens my heart to see you guys collaborating and doing more. So, as I said before, I played Born to Rock and Roll. I said that maybe you'd let us know, what you're planning. All three of you just chip in with whatever you want, and you can either say, "Oi, shut up, it's my turn," or whatever to each other while you're there.
So I'll go first. So with
ladies first. So Aidan, okay, that's grand. Yeah.
I'll let Fairy go then.
Hey, don't be led by me. I'm only the radio host. Aidan sounds like he's a man that needs to control two women. So go ahead, Aidan.
All right, get the whip out. Right, so the 11th January obviously is the launch, and after that, the Saturday, the 12th, we're in Seven Arches Bar in Newport.
Brilliant. Where's Newport?
Newport.
Yeah.
Down the road.
It's in Mayo. It's kind of not too far from Mayo.
Okay, because there's a few Newports around Ireland, so I'm just making sure.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Newport in Mayo. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And it's then after that. That's the Saturday night, and then during the week in Castlebar we're going doing a session with another band, Fours and Nines, in the Cobweb in Castlebar.
Lovely.
On the Wednesday. Then the Paddy's Day in Castlebar, which actually isn't going to be Paddy's Day in Castlebar because the Mitchells won the match, and the Paddy's Day the parade has been moved to the Sunday.
Really?
Yeah, so for anyone who still wants to celebrate Paddy's Day on Paddy's Day in Castlebar, can come to Tony Flynn's, where we'll be doing a nice Irishy session with Fiddler and Fairy will be there with us as well. And,
great stuff.
So that'll be starting at 8 o'clock.
Well, that sounds like the right place to be, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Paddy's Day on Paddy's Day.
Yeah.
But then on the Friday night, we're going to be in Mulroy's in Castlebar as well. And then on the Sunday, obviously, when the Castlebar people are having their parade, there's going to be an open air thing for that. We're going to do a few tunes at that as well. Brilliant.
So you're really rocking Castlebar anyway. So,
that's it, yeah.
So we need to get you further afield, I reckon.
Well, the way I thought is, this is the kind of tour for our launch, and like we said, we'd start with all the places that helped us out.
Absolutely,
and done gigs for us along the way, so that's why we stuck to all them places.
Too right. Even when you're playing the 3 Arena, go on back and do one in Garbo's,
We will surely, yeah.
Okay. So listen, Shaz, when are you moving down to Cork?
We've already moved. We got the house there last weekend.
Oh, brilliant.
Most of our stuff packed away. We've our music room set up, our office set up, and we look out at a big field, and there's a forest at the end of our garden to go and make some nice videos and play in.
Fantastic.
So very excited.
Well, do you know what? I'm going to share some information with you guys, Julianne and Aidan and Shaz, and tell Daniel. We've been offered a sort of a stage, if you like, with manpower and all the rest of it, to go on tours and to basically a pop-up stage. It's a proper stage, it's metal beams and lighting rig and 360 generator and all the rest of it. So we're going to be doing tours and going on to festival sites and all the rest of it. So keep us informed of what you're doing. We'll keep you informed of what we're doing, and we can sort of do a bit of swap over and fill slots and all the rest of it, because we're definitely going to have poets and speakers and acoustic sessions and smaller bands, if you like, and I think you guys would fit in absolutely perfectly. We're doing a gig down in I'm not sure if the staging is going to be there for this one because it's the first one, down at the Scrobanock Festival in Cork. So I'll be down there Good Friday weekend, so Easter weekend. So if you're knocking around there, give us a shout at the Scrobanock Festival. And then I think the next one is the Rather Gather in Portlaoise in Stradbally. So, it's all coming together, and we need to all share our info, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
100%. I'll just mention there as well, in July, the Jam Shugar sessions, we'll be doing a happy birthday Jim Morrison kind of thing, so a lot of rock and roll for that as well. So.
Well, one of the only heroes I've never met. There's a couple that I haven't met. Jim Morrison would be one of them, and I'd say Bob Marley would be the other. But do you know what? Isn't it great when you live in and work in these circles that you just end up meeting and bumping into your heroes?
That's it, yeah. We actually got to meet Philomena Linnet there a couple of years ago. We were doing a gig up in Cavan.
Brilliant.
It was a charity gig.
The vibe for Philo, was it?
The mother of Phil, yeah. And we got to play a bit of Thin Lizzy for her too, which was great. So.
Brilliant. That's really good. Hang on, let me just lower myself down. Something's happened with this volume here. I don't know why. Skype sometimes plays up, Live radio show, where would you get it? Okay, so look, I've got a little track that I thought I'd play that Daniel, or Dansky as he wanted to be called then, played. And I thought we'd take a wee break and put that on. It's Dansky Minor Swing Live. Would you like to hear that?
Indeed, yes.
Okay, because obviously you're going to be mixing and matching and playing all different things and hopefully collaborating a lot more. So here is Dansky Minor Swing, and then we're going to finish off a bit later on. I want Julianne and yourself to explain Cold Cold Night, and then I think we should finish the show with Paddy's Day Story again.
Definitely.
Lovely.
Okay, so Dansky Minor Swing. Let's go for that. And welcome back to the Midday Show. This is Sean Maguire live on People's Internet Radio. That's www.people'sinternetradio.com, where we are seeking solutions. And that was the wonderful Dansky Minor Swing live. It was Daniel, who isn't feeling too good at the moment, part of Fairy and the Fiddler. But I always say Fiddler and the Fairy, Fiddler and Fairy and the Fiddler. Which way round does it go? At the moment it's definitely Fairy, because poor old Fiddler is in bed.
Yes.
That
It's
was
circus, so it can go anyway.
Yeah, and I really wanted people to listen to that track, and the reason I did is because if they could picture, yourself and your hoops and your fire reading and all the rest of the stuff that's going on, that's the sort of vibe that you create at any festival or any event. It's brilliant and it's beautiful.
Yeah, something a bit crazy and a bit different.
Yeah. Some people said to me, what exactly is her talent? And I said, come and watch, come and have a look. Who is the fairy? They were asking me. See, you can't really do that on radio, really. No, we're gonna have to get.
We'll have our performance in Cork coming up, and then at the David Bowie, the release for the Paddy's Day single, we're doing a performance there,
Brilliant.
and then probably at the Castlebar Live gig as well.
Fantastic, and I was at a few obviously outdoor events you did, but the one that really worked for me was the one you did in Monroe's Tavern with Natty Whaler. It was just incredible. So that's how you
I like the indoor performances. They're quite nice, but I do a lot more outdoor fire. It's kind of easier to get and easier to perform them than small venues, because you're just going to wait and make sure you clear the space.
You might set light to the place. You might burn the place down. You might set fire to the poor place, and then sure. Anyone who's after an insurance claim, just book Fairy in the No, I'm joking. So anyway, look, we've got internet problem at the moment with Skype, but we've got one more track to play before we finish off tonight, this afternoon show rather. Looks like I have lost them. So what I am going to do is I am going to put on Cold, Cold Night.
I saw you standing in the corner on the edge of a burning light. I saw you standing in the corner. Come to me again in the cold, cold night. In the cold, cold night. You make me feel a little older, like a full-grown woman might. But when you're gone, I grow colder. Come to me again in the cold, cold night. In the cold, cold night. I see you walking by my front door. I hear the creaking on the kitchen floor. I don't care what other people say, I'm gonna love you anyway. Come to me again in the cold, cold night. In the cold, cold night. I can't stand it any longer. I need a fuel to make my fire bright. So don't fight it any longer. Come to me again in the cold, cold night. In the cold, cold night. And I know that you feel it too, when my skin turns into glue. You will know that it's warm inside, and you'll come run to me, yeah, in the cold, cold night. In the cold, cold night. In the cold, cold night.
And welcome back to the Midday Show. This is Sean Maguire live on People's Internet Radio. That was The Cold, Cold Night by Jam Shugar, or, well, singing Julianne. I'm hoping it was all of Jam Shugar there. But basically, the best way to explain that last track we just heard is by Slim Boy in the chat room saying, "What a voice. I love it." You're back with us.
Lovely.
Hello, hello.
That's one of our set list now. It's originally a White Stripe song.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it always goes down well with the crowd. It's one we've been jamming with the fiddler too, so it sounds even more super with the fiddle involved too.
Well,
so.
it sounded fantastic, and you've got a great voice, Julianne. It was really, really good. And I suppose the set list that we played even in this show shows the diversity, shows the roller coaster ride people can go on when they come and see Jam Shugar.
That's it. Like over the last year, we've done so many different things. We've done original nights, and we've done an Irish rock night where we've done a Thin Lizzy tribute, and we've done a Jimi Hendrix tribute, and like other stuff with other artists as well. It's like every gig is something different and something new. So
brilliant. Brilliant.
Good,
maybe extend more now. Now, obviously, it's only my opinion, but maybe extend more now into more and more originals. Bring them more and more into it to be the staple diet of the show people see, and then get out there and become, because every single Irish band that has stuck to its originals and has stuck to its guns has gone global, guys. You mentioned Thin Lizzy, you mentioned doing other rock covers and all the rest of it. I mean, Rory Gallagher, Van Morrison, you talk about even the Corrs and, all the Irish bands, U2 being the biggest in the world, I suppose. And anyone that sticks to their originals, they go through that lean period of not getting the gigs that all the cover bands are getting. But then when they stick to it, believe me, the creativity comes out, shines through, and the cream rises to the top.
Yeah, that's what we'll keep writing anyway.
Well, that's my opinion anyway. I really do think that it's where we're going. I mean, we don't want to, like, we've had show band land. My uncle had a show band. They were wonderful. I loved them. But, doing Mud, Tiger Feet and Shawaddy Waddy covers wasn't really the type of trip I wanted to be on. Okay. And that was back then. It still exists now, even through X Factor and all those type of ridiculous, what do they call them? What do they call those shows? Oh yeah, talent shows apparently.
Reality, I don't know.
Reality TV.
Yeah, well, anything that they put on, it's just they don't take risks anymore, and not many venues take risks. So what you did is very brave and very wise, I think, is by going in there, doing the covers what they want, sing American Pie if that's what they fucking want, do whatever to please the crowds, get yourselves known, and then start hitting them with some real good new music. That'd be fantastic.
I would be the first to do it.
Well, you're doing it. You're doing it, guys. That's what you're doing. I mean, I love Junkie Love. That could actually be a quite a bigger piece. You can extend on that and put a good band behind that, and you've got a heck of a track. Born to Rock and Roll is just a fucking Iggy Pop gone apeshit.
Lovely.
Sean, I have a request.
You have a request. What is that?
I do. Can the lads pick a number from you?
A poem.
The bag.
Yes, of course. Why wouldn't I, Ger? Hey, that's my art. I might as well share it. But this is your show, so it's up to you.
Yeah, we definitely want a poem.
Okay, so Julianne or Aidan or both. All my poems are short, like myself. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So no, I better explain, because 6 won't cut it, I'm afraid. And that's not your fault, you see. That's me talking to the Social Democrats again. I got to explain a bit more. Okay. But pick a number. Pick a number between 10 and 90. But hang on. No favourite numbers, no girlfriend, boyfriend's phone numbers, none of that shite. Just what the universe gives you right now. A number between 10 and 90. And that's a big spread.
79.
79. Can I read you page 79 from me book?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me have a look at what it is. Okay. Well, this is quite apt to what's going on at the moment, and I hope it's a sort of an apology for how I discussed your sister. And it should have just been a nice hello. And that was it. But this goes like this, and it's called Returned. I've returned to my father's land to tell you lots of stories, to warn you of the coming threat of wolves in sheep's clothes Tories. Don't believe the lies, or in England put your trust, because they'll squeeze you until your spirit's gone and you're left without a crust. You have a choice, a democratic right, to live a life of freedom. Your children, they'll be forgotten if left to the United Kingdom. Make sure you have a say in decisions that will affect your lives, or they'll be hurried through the courts of law like hidden, sharpened knives. And then we'll be told, sure, it's what we asked for all along. And the innocent politicians will be allowed to do what's wrong. That was fairly apt for our conversation earlier.
Wow.
Oh.
Fucking hell.
So, yeah, exactly.
Listen, it was so nice talking to you, and it's funny you said that about the fluoride thing, because I discussed it with one of the members of the party, and I wasn't aware of the policies, and I was giving out about the fluoride thing.
Yeah.
I think it was, well, my sister's a dentist and whatever, and she said when she was training, our teeth were the best down here.
Yeah.
I said, but it's fucking poison. But I never discussed it, but I will, thanks to you now. And,
Brilliant. So listen, Aidan, just to show that I didn't actually plan that, and I think Shaz has actually got the book, so you can look at
I do.
page 78, 79. But Aidan, pick a number between 10 and 90, and we'll do another one.
Between 10 and 90. 11.
11. Okay, well, I was born in England. Okay, that's why that last one was I returned to my father's land. Now, not all my poems are political, but you've just both bloody picked political ones. Okay, so I was born in England. I tried to get people to use the vote over there, and I did poetry gigs and punk gigs and all the rest of it. I'm sure I'm 50 years old now, and I started young. Okay, so this is something I wrote well over 30 years ago during Thatcherite Britain, and it goes like this. Looking backwards through tinted glass, picking up broken pieces of the past, wishing my next breath was my last. Well, the Union Jack's flying, but is that half-mast? Politics, religion, have you got enough bread? Worth your weight in gold until you're dead. When you're dead, the National Health might buy another bed. In your memory. Time for an election, but it's come too late, getting rid of the world that you and I hate. It needs all of us caring if we're to demonstrate, but then who am I to tell you? Who am I to dictate? Leaders try and tell you that you are number one, then through their greed and ego wars they arm you with a gun. But don't you realise who it is, having all the fun? In your memory. Rise up. Stand proud. This all belongs to you. We all know what we want to see and what things spoil the view. So come on, let's get together and see more than red, white and blue. Every action in our lives can make our dreams come true. The future generations, they'll just thank us for our actions in this cause. And all we tried to do was to kick down all those doors and put an end to poverty and God's forsaken wars. In your memory. There you go.
Oh, lovely.
excellent.
So two pretty bloody political ones, haha.
What are the chances, huh?
Shall we do the Blessed Trinity? And I know we're going to go over time slightly, but there's not a show after us, and if you're able... Shaz, why don't you pick one?
Okay, 55.
55. I hope you don't know what this one is, because I haven't got
I don't.
Good. 55. Okay. It's a very, very short poem, and it goes like this. Following instinct. Not teachings. Following truth, not hearsay. Following good, not bad, but understanding all of them. Living for knowledge and nothing else. Well, you know all the facts, but you don't know yourself. You hang on to the strings of the puppeteer, and you think what he says is oh so sincere. But you're being conditioned to thinking like him. Then the battle is lost. You don't know how to win. There you go.
Nice.
Oh,
Bloody negative, I reckon. But listen, I tell you what, it's coming up to 3 minutes to the hour. Didn't that hour fly?
It did,
Jeez.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It did.
It always does when you're chatting to a friend.
Ah, well, there you go. That's it. You know, and me, sure, you were lucky to shut me up, do you know? I've a 3-hour radio show tomorrow night, and I do have to tell people listen to this who is on, because I can't believe it. Last week I had no guests right up until the Wednesday morning. And because I put the word out, I ended up getting the next 4 shows booked, okay, which is great. But tonight I have Meron Tavakoli from the Keshe Foundation. He'll be on for the first hour talking about maglev energy machines, free energy devices and all the rest of it. I'm then going to have Gary Beattie on, along with Niamh Lynch. Gary is from the National Land League here in Ireland, both groups. He's also very heavily involved with Integrity Ireland, and he's introducing onto the show for a half an hour Niamh Lynch. Now, Niamh is due to lose her home, and I think it's Mayo County Council aren't rehousing her, so her and her 2 children will be homeless next week. So we need to get that word out and talk about what's actually going on this island, the land grab and the banks taking people and kicking them out of their homes, which is an absolute travesty, and against my law. I don't know about theirs. Then I have Joe Ducey and Colin Granahan, both from Integrity Ireland, on for another half an hour talking about, Joe's recent police corruption situation and lots of other things that are going on. The final hour is going to be quite amazing because I have Chris Spivey on. Check out Chris Spivey's website, Spivey. He is basically going to go public with paedophile rings in Westminster, and actually he's named recently and was attacked, very much so, called the most dangerous man in England. He has been exposing as people as high as David Cameron in this paedophile ring. So that should be an interesting show tomorrow night, I think.
Yeah, wow. Sounds good.
So check out all my other shows as well on my podcast, www.outofthebagradio.weebly.com. Check them all out, and you'll also be able to go back and listen to Shaz and Daniel with Natty Whaler a while back as well. So look, shall we finish off the show with, obviously, your single?
Oh yeah, lovely.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having us, Sean. It's always a pleasure.
Well, I want to say thank you to Shaz, and thank you to Julianne, and thank you to Aidan. It's been a pleasure. Say love and best wishes sent to Daniel as well, okay?
Cheers.
Thank you so much, everyone.
I just want to say thanks as well to Gerald in Greenfield Studios. He done a great job, and I'd recommend him to anyone who's going doing a bit of recording. So
fantastic. That's in Headford, is it?
Headford, yeah.
Just down the road from me. Just down the road from myself. Brilliant. Look, we're going to say thank you so much to Jam Shugar and the fairy and the poor fiddler. Bless him.
Thank you.
You are more than welcome. We're going to finish off, ladies and gentlemen, with a new single you're going to buy, aren't you? It's called The Paddy's Day Story. And let's hear it. And thank you all so much for listening. I will be back tomorrow night on Out of the Bag, 9 p.m. tomorrow night on People's Internet Radio. Thanks, and have a great day, everyone. This is The Paddy's Day Story. Thanks, everyone.
Woo! Yay!
The people there were friendly, loved working on the land. At times it wasn't easy, but they all worked hand in hand. Society was happy 1600 years ago. Now I hear you asking me, where did this culture go? 'Twas a shepherd with a shamrock, all the people say, came over here and said he'd make the demons go away. But the people there were wary of the stories he would tell about the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, the heaven and the hell. So on Paddy's Day, when you're dancing away, you're singing the Irish Rover. Remember, he never got rid of the snakes, he only brought them over. And along with the talk that you believe of with a better new belief, and spreading the word he mystically heard, and he tell the story with a little lead. Their holidays, they were all decided by the sun. This young shepherd boy, he always had his favorite one. In springtime when the darkness is equal to the light, and all the happy pagans setting fire to the night. Dark season's gone away and the sun is coming back, and Paddy thought, what better day for me to piggyback. So he kept on telling his stories to anyone who'd hear, and he kept on telling them night and day for years and years and years. So on Paddy's Day, when you're dancing away and you're singing the Irish Rover, remember he never got rid of the snakes, he only brought them over. Along with the thought that you could be caught with a better new belief, and spreading the word he mystically heard, and he tell the story with a little leaf. They started to believe in all his stories and his tricks. They started building churches using all the castle bricks. 'Twas the beginning of the end for all of their old Celtic ways. the Christian adaptation of the pagan holidays. No more Iahona or Baltana today. Now they're known as Halloween and Maybank holiday. Well, Paddy had a plan and, well, Paddy found a way. And now today, well, we all say Happy Paddy's Day. So on Paddy's Day when you're dancing away and you're singing the Irish Rover, remember he never got rid of the snakes, he only brought them over. Along with the talk that you can be bought with a better than you believe. And spreading the word he mysteriously heard and he tells the story